So this is a two-part question. One related to PS2. After Ravanan till PS1 and 2, can you talk about your association with Maniratnam? And also, like she said, a lot of unanswered question, and the face-off between you and Aishwarya Rai is something that's very exciting for us. So working with her, how was it? Can you explain both of them?
Thank you. I hope my answer is not as long, but that's a sweet question. Mani sir, I think all of us on stage here also will agree with me. I think he brings out the best in us. He makes us explore what is inside us, and there are sometimes some emotions and some characteristics that even we don't know we possess. He makes sure that comes out when we do the characters. And nobody handles love the way he does. Nobody makes songs the way he does. So it's always been my dream to be in his film. I had said earlier the last time that I want to be introduced on a bike, the first shot and glares and stuff. And instead I got introduced on a horse, I think, which is even better. And in a Mani Ratnam film with romance, though I don't, it's unrequited love in both films, but I think he's a master at this, and it's so beautiful to work with him. And I'd already told him after Ravanan, I was saying, sir, we need to, he was also telling me, I was saying, sir, I love working with him. He was saying, we need to do 100 films. So I said, sir, first get me the second film, and this is the second film. 100 films will take a long time, but that's him. Aishwarya Rai, what did you ask me?
Yeah, generally because part 2 is all about the face-off. Can you just talk about the work?
Yeah, it's more not Aishwarya Rai and me, it's more Nandini and Karthi. We are friends. Great family friends actually. I think that will be one of the many beautiful suspenses that is unraveled in the second part, second edition of this. And I'm looking forward to it because there is so much of emotion and so many layers within that romance itself. It's very difficult to, romance is a very difficult emotion to emote, but when you have somebody like, a character like Aditya Karikalan, wherein he's such a huge warrior, he's someone who's fearless and he just throws everything, he throws the crown, he throws everything. He says, I don't want royal, I don't want this life, I just want to go away, go for war, I just want to forget her. And his love is so strong. Finally, he's willing to do anything for her, and he becomes so vulnerable. It's almost like what I did in Ravanan. It's almost the same kind of emotion, but here it was a different experience because I was a prince and a warrior and all that. And I think you will like the way Mani sir has kind of knotted it up. Apart from that, there are so many other, like the romance between VT and Kundavai, and what happens to Arunmozhi Varman, and every character there is a beautiful roundup. The first part was like, I'd say, is like an introduction to all the characters. The second part is the story. And in fact, when we were sitting for dubbing, and I remember the Kannada, I had to thank him for dubbing so beautifully for me. The whole team was sitting and saying, sir, second part is the part, no sir. How are we releasing the first part separately? You should come with the second part. Second part has the juice. So I'm sure you guys will not be disappointed. It will be a beautiful experience for you.
And the second part of the question is like, in your career throughout, we have seen the body transformation or the makeovers that you have done. What keeps you going? Like, have you ever felt that I should stop all these things and make a...
No, I feel very passionate about this, and the day I think enough, do I need to try? I'll stop acting. For me, it's like, I just want to go out there, and there's so much to explore, so many characters. When I did Pitamagan, you know Pitamagan in Tamil, yeah. The thing is, when I did Pitamagan, I thought, God, I never imagined there was a character like that. You could create a character like that. It happens in the story writer's mind, the director's mind, they created that. And I've always wanted to do a historical film, but one of the roles I always loved to do, was Aditya Karikalan, of course, Vande Thevan. I've always thought I should do that, or Karnan. So I never thought I'd get it. Now I'm doing Tangalan, which is like something I've never envisioned. So directors' minds are so fertile and they are evolving. Every generation I'm meeting is coming out with new stories. So I don't think I'll ever get tired of being passionate about cinema. And as long as you guys are there to support us and love the work we do and the perfection that we're striving for, when you like that and when you encourage that, I think I can never get tired of it.
I just wanted to know that, after PS1 released, did Mani Ratnam sir made any changes for PS2?
No, the thing is, it's the beauty about this is he did the first part and the second part at the same time. So we didn't, it's not like KGF where you're doing it again, so you can actually work on your strengths, or you can think, okay, this did work, let's bring it down, or Bahubali where you say, let's make this bigger. This was already done because of the COVID mainly, but also I think it was a very intelligent strategy to finish both the parts. So there is no change as such. You'll only find the film nearing completion, and he's not trying to make anything different. He's trying to stick true to the book.
PS1 was more successful in among the Tamil peoples, compared to other languages. What was the reason according to you?
I think it's very rooted in Tamil history to begin with, but it did very well in South actually, and overseas. There was a lot of excitement around the film, and even in the North belt also, people have really loved the way the 10th century was shown. So far, we have never seen what it is to live in a 10th century, or how our kings have been. We don't have a visual for them. So all that was very new in the film. It was appreciated after it came in the OTT, and I think PS1 has set a very good platform for PS2. Like it has set all the correct introductions and expectations for PS2. In fact, the PS2 trailer says all that you have to expect in the film. There are all the high points in the film, but you don't know how it's going to connect, how these are going to happen. So I think it's PS2's got a very good setup already to become a big film. And I was saying, it was not easy to remember the names. There are so many layers into the film. It's a novel. It's not a movie where there is only one arc or two arcs in the film. Every character is going through an arc. There are like 5-6 arcs. So it's not easy to grasp if you have not read the book. But I think now we've set it up. Now they're going to do a complete recap of PS1, which is going to be released all over on the internet even before the movie is released. And in the movie also we have a recap at the beginning. So I think we're well prepared for a very big PS2.
And one more, I'd like to add to that. I think now there's no boundaries as such. I think, let's see, for Kantara, it's a film rooted more in Mangalore than even Bangalore, right? I have friends in Mangalore who say, it's our culture, this film has to do well and I'm rooting for it. You won't believe, Kantara did so well in Tamil. Though we didn't understand the culture. It's a culture that Malayalis will find in Kannur, that area, or they will identify, Telicheri, they will identify with Mangalorean thing, more than even Bangaloreans. So, but it's a thing that all of us love. So we celebrated Kantara. The thing is, when you have something like this, which is the biggest hit ever in Tamil cinema, ever. So when you compare it to other languages, obviously the other languages won't do as well as that. It is that. Even Hindi did very well for a Tamil film. But you say, but it's not done as well as in Tamil? Obviously not, because it's totally a Tamil film, like Karthi says. It's totally Tamil culture. It's about the characters. Everything is about us, and that's it.
And I would like to add something to that, saying that it did good in South India, and we believe it will do good in South India, but let us not only see the theatrical run of the movie. Now that North knows what the Chola dynasty is, North will know what kind of kings were there, and it is on OTT platform. It is going to live forever. So they are going to see it. If not in the theater, they will. This life will be shown. It will.
They will understand.
They will understand. Eventually, they will understand, and that's the effort we put into this to make this film.
In this competitive era, every individual actor would like to explore their talents individually. But Ponniyin Selvan kind of movie, it's a multistarrer and huge star cast. As an artist, how do you feel to explore your pluses and minuses now?
That's actually a really good question. Had it not been for Mr. Maniratnam, I would have given it a second thought for sure. But I'm very open to multi-starrers. I feel in today's time and age, it's something an actor should be open to. So it's amazing. I want to actually hats off to 3 of these superstars sitting here, because I feel every hero would think twice before accepting a multi-starrer. And this was one such film where from day one, and I'm talking about much before we even started filming, Mani sir made us all feel so secure in our roles. It also helped that we have books, so each of us knew what we were doing. And even all through filming, I don't think there was any difference where we any of us actually thought who has a better role or would his or hers be more impactful. We were all so happy with the roles which we were doing, at the same time inspired and appreciated what everybody else also played. Only Mani sir can do this, and I'm sure the rest of the cast would agree with me on that.
ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಟರಾಗಿ ಚಿತ್ರರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಟರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಎರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್?
Pan Indian is just a term we are giving cinema. I think cinema doesn't have boundaries, cinema doesn't have language. You can watch Spanish films, you can watch Bengali films, you can watch Tamil, you can watch Kannada, you can watch Gujarat. Because of the COVID, which unfortunately did whatever it did to the world, it helped cinema in a big way. Because OTT came in and it helped us in finance. At the same time, the reach of cinema is like rampant now. Any language you can watch a film just like that. Just go on the net and just surf and you can watch it. And I think that is what cinema is. So there's no boundaries. So I think this Pan India is like, I think you start, there is also this thing that you may want to reach out a wider audience with a particular genre. But then I feel any good cinema in any language, if it has the emotion, if it has the story and the substance, I think it will do well and it will be received. And I think now people have started appreciating films. See, Malayalam film industry is something which is very small. But something like Minnal Murali was a rage on Netflix. It became like the number one in that period. So it reached, you know, across the country. And likewise, our films, think about RRR. We've actually got an Oscar. It's like that. We're actually going beyond India now. So I think cinema is like love. It's universal. It will always be there.
In Ponniyin Selvan, the character of yours only connected everybody.
That row is the only questioning answering row. Only that row.
This question later I will transfer, sir. The only character who connects with all the characters in the movie. So, how did you manage, sir? From beginning to end, and in part 2 also, we have seen some
lot of sweat and blood.
So I think I've stayed on the set the maximum, along with the director, cameraman, and the camera. I think I'm the one who's travelled along throughout the film.
And the horses.
Horse, of course. I really loved playing this role, and I could relate a lot with Nandi there because he can connect with anyone very easily, and he's got a sense of humor. And he's somebody who will get into a trouble and then think about how to come out of it. He doesn't think before getting into it. So he's that kind of a person who's all life, you know. He wants food, he likes girls, he likes to travel, you know, he has big dreams. So all that was very easy to connect. But the difficult part was meeting the girls, all the women, you know. Because each time there's a very different equation, the way he relates to each woman in the film, and that I think Manisa really helped. I think my understanding of that scene would completely change once I go and start shooting with Manisa. So for example, there was a scene where I meet Nandini, Aishwarya Rai in the first film. There's a dialogue where I say it with a smile. Manisa said, "Don't smile." I said, "Sir, why, sir?" He said, "No, I want Nandini to think that you're intelligent. So I want you to suppress your feeling and say that line like, I know what you're thinking, so don't worry, I will not do that mistake." That one thing completely changed the graph of my character. So he was always with me, helping me out. Like even when I'm meeting Kundavai, he would make sure that, you know, he's himself a prince. Vandiyathevan is a prince, but he doesn't have a kingdom. So he cannot let himself down. He will always hold himself high, even though she's the greatest empire's princess. So those are small understandings which Manisa gave me, which changed my performance. So I think I had Manisa's help throughout. And of course action, I always enjoyed doing action, and when Ravi is there, we enjoyed even more because I'll get rest when he's fighting, and he'll take rest when I'm fighting. And when acting with Vikram sir, there's so much I could admire when he's doing the Crown Prince. Now we've seen Vikram sir act, we've seen how he will transform on screen, but I'm getting to see him on person, and the way Manisa established their friendship in just one shot was also beautiful. We never get to see them being friends, but in just one shot we know they are very good friends. I think throughout I would say really Manisa helped me out in this film.
How do you keep all the promises, sir?
All that?
How do you keep all the promises?
His heart is big.
ಈ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೊನ್ನಿಯಿನ್ ಸೆಲ್ವನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 1 3 ಗಂಟೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 2 3 ಗಂಟೆ 50 ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಂದರೆ ಬರೋಬ್ಬರಿ 4 ಗಂಟೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸು ಹೇಗೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾನ?
The part 1 movie is around 3 hours. So part 2 will be around 4 hours.
3 ಗಂಟೆ 50 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ.
3 hours 50 minutes. The duration of the movie will be 3 hours 50 minutes. It's 2 hours 50 minutes.
2 hours
50 minutes.
First one 2 hours 50 minutes ಇತ್ತು.
Yeah. Even the part 2 is.
ಇದು
He is saying that part 1 was around 2 hours 50 minutes. Even the part 2 is around 3 hours 50 minutes. He's asking. No, it's around 2 hours 50 minutes. How the audience will stay till.
Like how they saw the first part. This is a shorter version than the first part. And
If the movie is good, they'll watch
He
it.
thought it's around
Definitely watch.
4 hours. He thought.
not 4 hours. The books are many books, but the movies
Yeah.
are
ಹಾಯ್ ಸರ್, ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಅಂತ. ಜಯಂ ರವಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ರೋ
ಸರ್, ಈ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ? ಮಲ್ಟಿಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು.
multistarrer நடிக்கிறதுல ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்ஸ் தேங்க்யூ சார். புரியும், பேசதான் வராது. ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை சார், எதுவும் இல்லை சார். ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்லாம் இல்லை.
such a good time with us. ஜாலியா இருக்குல்ல. கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடி இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர் மீட்ல அழுதார், ஏன்னா எங்களை விட்டு பிரிய முடியலன்னு அழுதார். He cried. Now he's saying there's no plus point.
அண்ணா,
It's okay.
அண்ணா லிசன்.
Your weakness is our plus point.
பஞ்சு மறந்துட்டாங்க. ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை சார், எல்லாமே ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் தான் சார். ஒரு ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை. ஏன்னா நான் கார்த்தி சொன்ன மாதிரி, நான் நினச்ச மாதிரி என்னென்னா, நான் பார்த்துருப்போம் இல்லையா, அவரோட பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பார்த்துருப்போம். நேரில் பார்க்கும்போது unconsciously you will get to learn something, and better than that, consciously you get to unlearn something. That is the best part of a multistarrer, I think. You know, now you will consciously you will leave your எப்படி சொல்றது, ஒரு பேட் ஹேபிட்ஸ் விடுற மாதிரி பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸில் ஏதாவது நமக்கு ஒரு தப்பு நமக்கே இருக்கிறது தெரிய வரும். அப்போ அது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக இட் வில் கோ ஆஃப், இட் வில் ஃபேட் ஆஃப். And to interact with good minds, good actors is a gift. You will never get it otherwise. Only in parties or அந்த மாதிரி தான் பேச வரும். அப்போ கூட we will speak like ஏதோ சம்பந்தம் இல்லாத ஒரு டாபிக் we will talk. It doesn't matter what we spoke. We just want to spend time together. But when you act, you are so put together in one space, one creative space where you can exchange everything. That will happen only on a shooting spot. And for that particular movie, for that particular scene, it's even greater. So the knowledge, transference of knowledge is amazing. And the bond that is created through that process is unforgettable.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಮಣಿ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರಾವಣನ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ PS1 PS2 ಆಗಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜಂಜಾಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ. ಸೊ PS1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಜನಿ ಸರ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಮಣಿ ಸರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳಿನ ನಾಯಕನಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಲಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಬಂದಾಗ?
Definitely, because எங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இருக்கு. both of us like அவர் வந்து எப்பவுமே மணி சார் one of those rare directors வந்து நடிச்சு காட்ட மாட்டார். He will just come and he will explain, like how Karthi said, so the way he says it immediately will strike a chord somewhere and you start doing something else. So he and I don't know, I think one of the best understandings for me with a director. So once Ravanan, the thing is 10 characters. So each character, each time we do a scene, he'll say இந்த character மாதிரி பண்ணி பாருங்க, இப்போ இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப வீக்கா பண்ணி பாருங்க, இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங், இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப கோமா. So ஒவ்வொரு தடவை we try a different character. So I practiced all that with him and we had an understanding. Like so So even here, sometimes he'll come say, hey, what you not? I said, yeah, you said to do this. No, like we'll be sometimes talking like, you asked me to do this. No, yes, sir, but you didn't explain properly. So he said, hey, I explained, you do it. And I thought so it's very nice when you talk to him. And he's a very, suddenly he'll be short-tempered, suddenly, but he's a genius. So I just love that little thing, that banter we have and working with him. And I think he brings out the best in any actor. And it's every actor's dream in the South or in India to work with him sometime. Just an example, somebody asked whether as multistarrers or whether Trisha was okay or Ravi was okay. You know, there are 14, almost every actor in the movie is a hero or a heroine or has been. Right from Babu Anthony, Jayam, Parthiban sir, everybody has been a hero. Rahman, everybody, Ponguli, everybody is a heroine. They're working in films as heroines, but they come why? In a movie with so many characters, mainly of course Kalki, and you know you want to be a part of this project. And like Ravi said, we get inspired by the other actors, but at the same time, I think we all felt, none of us felt at this time that, okay, I want this film to be a blockbuster for me. It's like we felt we are part of something really large, the larger picture. And I come to Kantara, like see, Rishabh really touched me in that I feel in that movie, every actor would have felt, every role, I want to do it. Likewise, all of us. And he calls us again, we'll again come and do this. That is what he did for us.
What I feel is Kundavai stands little different because of her hairstyle, the accessories she uses. And even in Karnataka, a lot of females got a photo shoot done with the same look and it was trending and viral as well. So my question is, how did you personally enjoy and did you do any research as such about the look of Kundavai? So what do you have to say on this?
I didn't have to do any research because day one when I walked into Mani sir's office, there was a whole lot of researching that was already taking place and had been done. And Eka and her team, I mean, I have to credit them for the look, for working hard. And we worked for 6 months prior to filming. And so we had enough of time to experiment. I mean, the bun, I think took about 3 months to, fix because we didn't know how to do it.
Not every day, just the idea, right?
Just the idea, yeah. Once we fixed it, it was funny. No. But it took 3 months to get that. We tried a small bun, it wouldn't sit, and then medium, and then large. And we've used different sizes, like for a coronation scene, Sir wanted a little more of a queen look, a princess look. And for the romantic scenes, he wanted a shorter bun, so it was very challenging. And like you said, I mean, so many people have played princesses, but this is so special to me because I loved playing dress up. It was fun. And it touched me beyond anything when I saw so many people, starting from children to adults, posting reels to me, tagging me. I mean, I'm just wondering. I was cribbing here and there because we were shooting. I'm like, these people just did it just because they loved the role and they wanted to show it to me. So it's definitely one of my top 5 most favorite characters I've played. Thank you. Thank you. I have to say one of my top 5, no?
I would like to know that what were the reactions you received when PS1 released from the younger generation audience, because they usually think that history is boring when we study, So for me, this film, these kind of films matters because they pass the information to the next generation. So on this aspect, what kind of reactions you received?
I think the craziest crowd was the younger generation in the theatre, and the very old people who've never been to theatres for almost 20 years or 30 years. They came in wheelchairs and were carried into the theatre. They were the ones. And you see if you just check on YouTube, see any of the reviews or reactions, it's all the younger generation who's saying, superb, we love this is the kind of thing, history and blah blah. I don't think they'll go to a history class. But they definitely went to the theatre. Manisha made sure that with the popcorn and the Coke, they also had a very good film to watch. And they learned their history.
And in fact, there's so many tours organized in Tamil Nadu where there's an entire journey from Chennai to all the way to where are they?
From Bangalore.
So many bikers
from
who came to just explore the path to see where the story happened. Now, people have been exploring it. There are so many historical tours happening now, and people are very, very interested to know more about the history. See, this film is only a fiction based on history, but this has created so much interest around the history of the entire India, I would say. People have started taking more interest in history because so much of history we don't know. We don't read about it, but there's fascinating information there.
Vikram sir. So, few Kannada actors also associate with this movie, like Prakash Rai, Kishore, and Aishwarya Rai. Can you throw a few words on them?
Chalo. He's a good friend of all of us. He's a great actor to work with always, and I think his character, I love the scenes with him and Trisha. I think he's already done Gilly with you as, that he was the pair. There's another one where he's the father, no? No, but as a father, but in this, I felt the relationship between you and him was very different because he's ailing, he's not well, and she is someone who's like a son in their relationship. Regarding Kishore, I think is one of those very talented actors who's been, I like, not just him as an actor, he's very intense, but he's also someone who's into green earth and into farming and agriculture, and he's someone I've spoken I've not had any scenes with him as such, but when I did meet him, I told him I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I think he's a very, very intense actor, he's good. Aishwarya Rai, I think all of you know, right? And she's great to work with, and I think you'll love her in this film. You'll love her or you'll hate her, but you can't ignore her.
It's very difficult to act as a good person, sir. It was very difficult, sir. Yeah, because for a bad guy, you have different emotions. But a good guy has to suppress all the emotions. So for me, it was very difficult to suppress all the emotions, actually. So when I look at somebody, I shouldn't have hate. The look has to be suppressed enough that I don't hate you. I welcome you, kind of a look. I never know how I came up with the look. I think that I've done my job properly. From that basis, I'm speaking now. So to be pleasant is very difficult. To be that good person, Mani sir gave me, he just injected a lot of emotions in me about the great Raja Chola. So, and I didn't want to, sorry to say, but I didn't want to copy anybody in this particular character, because the greatest Shivaji Ganeshan sir has done as Raja Chola. I didn't watch that before the shoot, because if I watch that, I will exactly act like him. I know there is no way that I will be different than him, or I can't even match up to him in 10%. What I did was, I believed in myself, I believed in the script, I believed Mani sir, I believed Kalki, and I believed God that this will be done properly in my own way, and I tried doing it. And that's the belief that I still have, that, find your own way, and that is taking me forward. I think that helped me move all these days. Thank you.
For me, I would say historical films, you need extreme strength. You have to be extremely fit to do a period film to begin with, to carry the armor, to be able to ride the horse, to do all the action, and the speed which Manisha shoots. What you shoot in 10 days will be shot in 4 days here. So imagine you should be like an athlete to be able to do it. So it's a lot about physical fitness. But apart from that, I think my role was something which so many people wanted to do it. So there is no second thought about it. It's only the fear of doing it right and making sure it comes out well. And one more thing is, when you do a classic something like this, which is written 70 years back, you will be remembered forever. This is a kind of a film where if you're just part of this film, you'll be remembered forever. You become a part of the legacy here. So I think that way we're all blessed. That, our identities are very different now. So many people call me VT, they call me AK and PS. So our identities change when you do a big classic film, something like this. So that way we're all blessed, and it's definitely a sheer joy and learning. I would say this film put to test all that I've learned all these years. It definitely tested me as an actor.
Hi. Day by day you are looking so young and so beautiful. This question applicable to both Vikram sir also and you. So is there any tips for girls and for boys?
Girls, you are born beautiful. Boys, bathe in donkey's milk every day. If you can find a donkey, it will help. And of course, makeup helps, and computer graphics. I'm sorry, I'll be answering to you.
I think
You just think the same.
jeans, like good jeans.
Jeans,
and Tata Pati. And I think just be
happy, do what you want, don't think too much about what people think, say. It really helps. A lot of how you look is everything that's happening within you internally, and I've come to realize that over the last 5 years. So just stay happy and positive. It's hard, I know, don't take in too much stress, and yeah.
As you said it, you started looking even more beautiful.
Thank you.
Compared to Bahubali, I don't know whether it is right or wrong, I don't know what this question is. Actually, in particular, we look into the story. It is a fictional story. Actually, Bahubali and Triple R, it is a fictional story. And mostly, the Rajamouli is mostly worked on the character. Just we look into the character, the Maheshmati, and then Bahubali and Katappa. These are all the characters. It's affect to your bones to your hair. And it's the thrilling feel and goosebumps also. So, but it is the real story, and do you believe in that this is a negative effect to the story because the character are just a copy paste because of this is the real story. So that's why I have a question. It is a negative effect to audience.
That is, you can create anything you want. Right?
Yeah.
No, but ours is also fictional. It's based. You're saying they use our characters in Bahubali?
Yeah.
Oh, that. We'll talk to Rajmouli and get back to that. I didn't know about that, but I enjoyed Bahubali and I love that film. This is a different film. I think it's how a director wants to present a film. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I just see a larger picture. I think that being the biggest hit of all times in India is because of a reason. He made it that way, that bigness and the way he did it, and that shocked us into this. But Mani sir, what he thought is, he wanted to make it as true to the book as possible, and also he was thinking because it's to do with a lot of our culture, and he wanted to make it as a reference point. Like when you think of Vande Devan, you should think of Karthik. This is what he wears. You think of Aramuri Varma, you should only think of how he looks. See, here we could have worn a crown, we could have had armor, could have been in gold, and we could have had 100, 2,000 elephants. But what would have happened in reality then? He will be wearing leather. He's also a prince, but he will have leather. If you notice, he wears one outfit. Poor thing, after the Tannila wash, when he's stiff he became like this. If you notice, he'll keep on doing that. Say, why? He had only one. He's a crown's prince, but he didn't have a crown. He only has a turban. I am also a prince, but I had only one jewelry, because we wanted to stick to reality. That's Mani sir's idea, but I think Bahubali worked for that, and Mani sir's worked for this. And they're two very different films. And I don't think we can compare or say that any of our characters was there in Bahubali. I don't think that makes sense. Because I've seen both. It's a very different movie, with due respects to your... Yes?
So my question is to everyone on the dais. Actually, I want everyone to answer this. So what are your thoughts about the kind of films that is made in Kannada industry? That is one question. And Trisha ma'am has already done a straight Kannada film with Ponniyin sir and all three gentlemen on the stage. And what are your thoughts about doing a straight Kannada film?
I would love to. I was supposed to, in fact, work with Puneet before he passed, and I really regret that. And every time I come here, my first thought is him because we were so excited about that film. It was called Dvidva. So yes, if something is challenging, because I loved that script, I loved my character in it. So if something is as challenging as that, and like Vikram said, I mean, cinema is so global these days. Everything is watched by everybody. I would love to do a straight Kannada film. I'm very, very open to it. And sorry, your first question was...
What are your thoughts about the recent Kannada films that are being made in recent days?
Hats off. Starting from, KGF and then Kantara. I watched all of them. Kantara, in fact, twice. Hats off to you guys. I mean, you're making some great cinema. And it's like I said, since it's global, I'm so proud to be part of cinema. It's the right time to be in cinema.
Okay, thank you so much. We are concluding the question answer round. Thank you.
They are yet to answer actually. So Vikram sir, please.
I think you guys are rocking. The moment I saw KGF, I called Prashant and told him he'd done a fantastic job and we should work sometime in the future. Likewise, I think Rishabh rocked it. It's very difficult to be an actor and to direct and to concentrate in the shoot. It's very difficult. I mean, I've directed some small stories and stuff. It's very difficult to do both. But he did both with such, such skill. And I thought the energy in that movie was beautiful, and I also watched it about 2 or 3 times with my family. And I think your industry, KGF was, I think, the eye-opener for all of us, because your industry is pretty small, but they could have thought, this is the budget, let's do this. But it's not like the first part did well, so let's do better. The first part itself, you decided, let's do something big. That is a vision, and I think that worked. Kantara, on the other hand, was this dark horse that is a good film. You didn't realize like how good it's going to go, but every state celebrated. Like I said earlier in Tamil, we loved that film. I loved, especially the last 20 minutes, like hats off to Rishabh and the team. It was beautiful. We love your films, and I think all of us would love to work in your films. I'm open to that. All of us are open, and like Trisha says, there's no language. We all, it's the same.
I think it's a new wave. They're rocking everywhere. I think would say start from Lucia, U-turn, then Garuda Gamma. I think all these films have been fabulous. They're completely redefining Kannada cinema, or the opinion about Kannada cinema. The performances are fantastic. The visual, like when Vikram, the visuals were so good. You wonder where were these people so far? Now suddenly everybody is doing fantastic work, and one after the other they're coming up with, it's just not one film and it went away. Kannada cinema is bringing with great films one after the other. I met Rishabh 2 days back. He said the part 2 is already, prequel is already started. So I think they're doing a great job, and we're very proud. We're all very proud of that.
Can I also add on?
Please, please.
No, I think KGF, I'll answer it very short. What I witnessed, what I noticed, I would say KGF broke the language barrier in India. Kantara broke the religious barrier. I thought belief is the religion. I really thought. What I noticed. And to add on to that, not only Kannada movie, RRR is going global now, so everything is being broken, there's one entity which I can see, and it is beautiful, and India is heading to that beautiful space where every one of us is going to be noticed globally, and Kannada cinema has contributed too much to that. Hats off to that, and I would like to act in a Kannada movie.